Good afternoon, I'm John Webb. Straight ahead here on Channel 3 News at 6.
Truckers in Osburn are not allowed to park their semis at their houses. We'll have the story. Plus a fatal crash that occurred near Wallace. We have the latest details. Also, a rape in Smelterville and a man in jail. We have more on his preliminary hearing. And Destiny, you have a look at your 7-day update.
Yep, temperatures in the 20s this week, and we are seeing snowstorms on the way.
Roads are going to be pretty slippery. Destiny, thanks so much. Those stories plus Destiny's full weather updates straight ahead here at 6.
Reporting you can trust with John Webb, Megan Dorton, Morgan Powers, and weather with Destiny Angle. This is the 6 o'clock news on Channel 3 TV.
Good evening and thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm John Webb. Well, we are following breaking news tonight out of Wallace. In the tease, we said there was an alleged rape and a man in jail. Since the morning we recorded it, the man was bailed out. On December 3rd, the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of an alleged rape that occurred in Smelterville. After further investigation, Jordan L. Martz, 22 years old of Kingston, was arrested on 1 count of rape. Martz had a preliminary hearing Thursday, the 14th, but he was bailed out later that day. We contacted the prosecuting attorney's office to get details on the hearing, but they haven't gotten back to us yet. Channel 3 News will of course keep you updated as details continue to unfold. You can like our Facebook page and subscribe to us on YouTube. Just search Channel 3 News-Wallace. We're following more breaking news tonight. On December 12th at approximately 8:44 p.m., a fatal crash occurred on Interstate 90 at milepost 63.5 near Wallace. Yuri Karlov, a 59-year-old male from Brooklyn, New York, was traveling westbound on I-90 when he lost control of his semi-tractor and trailer while going too fast for the conditions. The semi rolled onto its passenger side, left the roadway, and traveled through 20 feet of guardrail. The roadway was blocked for approximately 5 hours. Karlov was pronounced deceased at the scene. He was wearing his seatbelt. ISP states that the next of kin has been notified. In local news tonight, semi-truckers in Osburn are not too happy with the city of Osburn. According to Mayor Kip McGilvery, all semi-trucks are not allowed to park in residential areas. The city received a few complaints about the trucks being too loud late at night, so the city found some land for the truckers to park. The property that is owned by the Galena Mine is still in city limits but ostracized from any Osburn residents. He told us that it goes against city ordinance. Eric Goyette, a trucker that lives near KWAL radio, says that he has to walk all the way from one end of Osburn to the other in the middle of the night. Goyette said, quote, "I've been parking my truck at my house for the last 5 years and none of my neighbors have ever complained about my vehicle being in my yard." We asked McGilvery what consequences truckers might face if they remain parking their vehicles at home, but Mr. McGilvery declined to comment. In school news tonight, the Wallace Jr. National Honor Society is hosting a food and hygiene drive for the high school. Our Morgan Powers has a story tonight.
Thanks, John. Wallace's own NJHS Club is hosting a food and hygiene drive this week in hopes of getting enough supplies for the new care closet.
The care closet will provide food and hygienic items for students at the school who need it.
The care closet is a new idea thought of by the club to keep a designated closet in the school stocked with food, warm clothes, and personal hygiene products that might be difficult for some children to acquire.
The food drive is to raise that kind of food in a class competition way to make it fun, and all that food and stuff is going to go to the care closet.
The closet will be easy access to students who need it.
The Bite to Go, so Miss Bauer looked at the students who qualify for free and reduced lunch, and then she sent home permission slips, and then the kids who return it will get a package of food to go over the weekend with them, and it has breakfast items, lunch items, protein, that kind of stuff for them to last over the weekend.
The club encourages all students to participate and bring in anything they can. Any donations can be brought to the new class advisor, and they will be counted up at the end of the week, and the class with the most points will win an extended lunch. Reporting in the Channel 3 newsroom, I'm Morgan Powers.
Morgan, thank you. In crime news this evening, one Borracho Tacos and Tequileria manager was assaulted last week in Spokane. The victim stated that the suspect shouted racial slurs at him, and when he asked him to leave, things began to escalate. The restaurant crew escorted the suspect outside, and that's when he punched the victim right in the nose. The victim also stated that the suspect pulled out a knife and made multiple threats. The suspect fled the scene, and his vehicle was described as a gray Dodge with a canopy and Shoshone County plates. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Spokane Police Department at 509-625-4100. In local news, Frosty Greenfield, Shoshone County Public Works Director, has announced Thompson Pass and Moon Pass are closed for the winter season. Shoshone County does not perform winter maintenance or plowing on either of those passes. Greenfield states, "We appreciate everyone's cooperation by not attempting to utilize Thompson Pass and Moon Pass during the winter months, as the high snow level accumulation on the passes become forbidding to travelers. If you have any questions, you can contact the Shoshone County Public Works Department at 208-753-5475. Destiny Angle is standing by over in the Channel 3 Weather Center with more on your 7-day update. Destiny, do you think we're going to be seeing a white Christmas?
Looks like it, John. Not soon, but after the weekend, we may see a few snowstorms falling into next week. Temperatures are super cold this week, scattered throughout the low 20s. As you can see, variations of icy cold temperatures coming into this week throughout the Shoshone County, making this week full of icy roads and morning frost. Looking at the snowfall accumulation this week, snowstorms should be on the way. Roads are starting to look dangerous, so pay attention and buckle up. Saturday, we have a 20% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy with a high near the lower 30s. Saturday night will be mostly cloudy with a low around 22. Sunday we have a high near 31, and Sunday night a 40% chance of snow, cloudy with a low around 28. John?
Destiny, thank you. In local news, on December 9th at approximately 8:14 p.m., a fatal crash occurred on Interstate 90 at milepost 34.5 near the Rose Lake Junction. A tan 1992 Honda Accord driven by Gregory Vanderis, 52 of Coeur d'Alene, was traveling westbound on I-90 in the passing lane when he swerved to the right and slid off the roadside. The vehicle struck the guardrail end, taking out approximately 30 feet of guardrail. The vehicle then slid over the embankment, striking the post of a roadway sign, continuing down the embankment, overturning and coming to rest after striking a tree with the roof. Vanderis was wearing his seatbelt but was pronounced deceased at the scene. The two occupants in the vehicle were Rachel Cabral, 32 of St. Mary's, and Jesse Stevens, 36 of Coeur d'Alene. Both were transported to the Kootenai Medical Center. Well, our sports anchor Eric Brackebush is over in the Channel 3 Sports Center with his interview with the Wallace basketball coach. Eric?
As promised, I sat down with members of the Wallace boys varsity basketball program, and here is what they had to say.
Well, I think the team can match up with anybody we play, and we'll be successful this year, and we're looking to go to state.
You know, I'm feeling like that we have a lot of kids that have been together for a long time. We've been together since, 5th, 6th grade. So we got a lot of chemistry going. We got a good second team as well to back up our starters. So I believe that any situation we get in, we'll have a good outcome.
Yeah, continuing what Zane said, we have a deep bench and we have outstanding defense, so it's gonna help out through the year.
I think, like, going off of what Zane and Jaden said, we've been playing together for a long time, and I think we play a fast-paced game, and we're up and down the floor and pick the other team up and press them and create some turnovers, and we score.
The boys seem to have one common goal.
State.
State. State.
State.
I then interviewed head coach Corey Miller on the subject.
I think we're going to be a tough matchup for a lot of teams. We have some size inside, but we can also go small and give a lot of teams issues and play to our advantages and their disadvantages. Game plan is going to be a huge part of it, and how we want to match up with people. And if we can choose the tempo we play at, we'll be a lot more successful.
Thanks, John. Back to you.
Eric, thank you. In crime news, Megan Dorton has the misdemeanor roster from the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office. Megan, good evening.
Good evening, John. The Shoshone County Sheriff's Office currently has more than 1,000 active warrants. Most of these warrants are for contempt or failing to appear, may be taken care of by contacting the court and paying the unpaid fine. Carson McCormick, 37 of Hayden, Idaho, has a failure to appear to court for domestic battery. His fine is $5,000. Cheryl Miner, 59 of Pinehurst, Idaho, has a failure to appear to court for second-degree stalking. Her fine is $1,000. Thera Hartley, 31 of Osburn, Idaho, has a failure to appear for driving without privileges. Her fine is $500. Kelly Gann, 45 of Osburn, Idaho, has a failure to appear for driving without privileges. Her fine is $500. If anyone knows the whereabouts of the wanted persons, they are encouraged to contact their local law enforcement agents or the Shoshone County Sheriff's Office at 208-556-1114. Back to you, John.
Megan, thank you. In the good news, a New Jersey man spent his Black Friday putting together a great surprise for dozens of local families. The man, identified only as Charlie K, told KYW-TV that he woke up Friday morning planning to shop for his son when a bright idea came to him. He went over to the Toys R Us store in the town of Cherry Hill, where he paid for orders that customers had put on a layaway. He wound up paying for more than 80 orders, totaling over $10,000.
What made you want to do something like that?
Just, trying to bring some happiness to people. That's really it. Bring back to the community. That brought so much happiness to me and my family.
A Toys R Us spokeswoman confirmed the good deed. She said, quote, "We love the heartwarming acts of one Secret Santa who visited Toys R Us this morning." On top of that, Charlie K also purchased an additional $2,000 worth of toys for Toys for Tots, which is a charity ran by the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve that brings Christmas gifts to children whose parents can't afford them. That's nice to see. And Channel 3 also had some good news this week. We had 3 8th graders, Vincent Schmidt, Preston Grubbs, and Mason Chaffee from the Wallace High School stop in and tour our studio. I heard through the grapevine that Mr. Chaffee may be taking my position after I leave. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Channel 3 TV tonight. I'm John Webb, and for all of us here at your local news station, have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and of course, a great night.